This is my boat shed in Arctic Finland. I am building this, a 15-meter liveaboard cruising sailboat from scratch, using 3D modeling, CNC cutting and wood epoxy construction.
And my name is Panu. Welcome! In previous video we did a glue up for all these side decks and this one side of the bulwark side. And we left with the note that, well, it didn't go very well. It's now 2 weeks later after the glue up. The spring has arrived for good, at least for now, so it's quite warm and nice here. And today I'm kind of making the big decision what I'm gonna do with this side where this level of the side deck didn't go that well. Just a quick reminder, I did the glue up for all of this and the side deck is glued with the bulwark side over there. And it was a little bit tight because the plywood, the 50mm plywood over there is actually something like 15.6. And that meant that it didn't go too well into the groove it should have gone into. But what I didn't notice while I was gluing was this other side. So for some reason, when I put that together, the side over here raised up almost a centimeter. That's okay, but what is not okay is this over here. That means that the side deck is lower back there than it is on this edge. As you can see, it's not touching the mold here. And that means that this surface right here is almost a half a centimeter higher than it should be. And that is a problem because there's gonna be these frames on top there, and it's all meant to go flush with the deck. And there's gonna be this beam and there's gonna be another beams here, and if this is not very accurate, it can deliver all kinds of problems later on. So that's why I want to fix this. And to fix that, I have been considering all kinds of options to plane that so that I can remove the half centimeter there, but then the deck would be considerably thinner on that end, and also it will be in the wrong position on the other side as well. So not very fan of that idea. But what I have come up to is to use this. This is a chainsaw, electric one, and what I have kind of decided already is I'm gonna cut this off from the bottom. And I know this is not particularly accurate tool, but it's the best I could come with because no skill saw or any kind of other saw could cut through here right against this surface. So what I think I'm gonna do, I'm gonna cut it with an angle as best as I can. It will remove the thickness of this blade from there, and I hope that that is gonna be enough for me to drop this down that half centimeter from there to put this against the mold. And I hope this works. There is a backup plan, and that is to make these sides again. I have this plywood still there, so I can quite easily cut these and do the scarf joints again. It's not a big deal to do right here, but I'm afraid if I don't do this right now, it can kick me later to the somewhere. So yeah, just want to get it right. Now it has been cut. No return. And now I should be able to push it down against the mold. We'll see how that goes. I'm assuming it has been glued somewhat against these molds from somewhere, so I might need to lift it or whack it a little bit or something, but we'll see. And what do you know, it's fixed. It went much easier than I expected. I just needed to pull a little bit up to get it out of those molds. It was a little bit stuck here and there. But now, when I stood on it, it went down, and now it seems to be touching the molds in all places. And yeah. And just to remind you, this seam, it's not really structural seam. It's just holding the bulwark to the bulwark top, and there will be fiberglass in here and fiberglass on the outside to connect them, and a fillet here, and yeah, it's not structural. These frames are the structural thing, so no worries there. I'm just really happy that it went through like this. Yeah, it looks not very good. I will show you there in the middle. You can see there is no gap there anymore. It's right against there. So that is absolutely great. And you can see the seam down there. It's much narrower. So that chainsaw was actually a good idea. It made gap enough so that this can go down that bit. So I'm gonna fill that gap with thickened epoxy eventually. All right, now when this is fixed and I'm very relieved, we can start focusing on the next task. It's not that other side. I will do that sometime, maybe next week. But some of you may have already noticed the next task, and it is these molds here in the middle. I started to cut those from the USB boards during last week, and there is a few of them already cut. There was actually a small mistake there as well. Here is the first iteration of that mold, and it was, well, pretty good, but this notch right here, this thing that should go into those notches back there, it was in a wrong position, and luckily I tested this before I cut more of them. For some reason it was in the wrong position in my CAD image, and as I may have told earlier, there's of course two of these molds here in the middle, and that's because the keel timber will be laminated against this eventually on top of there. Okay, this is difficult. I think now it's a good time to introduce this one, which is the spacer thing that goes in between here and holds these two together as one. All right, there's definitely a learning curve here. It's not very straightforward to put these in, but I hope you can see that that actually forms the placement for the stem here. And the frame 0 will be here, and the frame 1 will be here. And this is the place for a temporary frame in between. Yeah, it looks just like on my computer screen. That is absolutely amazing, of course. So yeah, these pieces are quite big and cumbersome, and I think I might need help to put them in. There's not just enough leverage with just 2 hands to keep them on their place and when whacking them in, so I might ask someone to help me. But I have now cut only 2 batches of those pieces, and we'll get into cutting these right now. This is the day of sorrow. My loyal friend, this vacuum or its bearings died today. Yeah, it's gonna break anytime. I wonder if this is fixable. I doubt it. Very important tool. I need to get a new vacuum. Now let's have a small silent moment for the memory of my friend. Alright, there's now 2 of us here. Kimmo came to help me with this middle mold. Today's objective is to put the middle mold all together there, and I really hope there's not additional mistakes with the cutting. So yeah, we'll see how this goes. What a wonderful day we had here with Kimmo today. Well, just look at this. This is just freaking amazing. I'm so pleased with this. We got all these middle molds installed, of course, and then we got also glued the other side of this bulwark. That was very good, and it went much more easier than this one, of course, because we knew the issue there. We did some preparations there before, and yeah, it went very smoothly. And now, of course, officially the phase 1 is done, and we also started the phase 2 already, so that is amazing. Next, there is a lot of things to do and prepare. First of all, I have to finish all those frames. There is still quite many to do. There is quite many already there. I need to clean up these things and start to figure out how I'm going to be able to put those frames in. There is those mast steps need to be manufactured soon. There is some additional temporary frames to be made here, and I'm able to start putting the stem in. So yeah, that's one big thing, of course. And yeah, a lot of things I can do from now on, so we'll see what's gonna be next. But I will end this video right here. Thank you so much for watching. If you haven't subscribed this channel yet, please do that now. Give me a like, congratulate me with some messages down in the comment section, of course. And if you are able to support this kind of videos, please check the Patreon page as well. All the revenue will be going into making these videos right now. I really appreciate everybody who has contributed into this project by supporting me on Patreon, or to Kimmo especially. Thank you so much for helping me with this. This wouldn't be possible by myself, that's for sure. So, we will see you in a couple of weeks. Until then, bye bye.